Hey, my antisocial butterflies, welcome back to this week's episode. I got some crazy hair going on, I got a little rat tail or whatever going on for you. And I feel like it's indicative of the last week, right? We got a lot of craziness that we're going to start talking about. So first, let's get started with some big news in the music world. And a lot of it has to do with gun violence, unfortunately. So in the last week, we actually heard about the two deaths of King Von, who is a rapper based out of Chicago, and Mo3, who is a rapper out of Dallas, who actually both, unfortunately, lost their lives to dumb acts of violence with guns. So King Von got into it with another rapper and his entourage, Quando Rondo, after he was performing at a nightclub, and he lost his life, right? And then I guess there was some high-speed chase that involved Mo3, and he ended up losing his life. And it's just so sad to think about these people. And I didn't actually, to be quite honest, know about them until their passing. And there's so much potential that could have come out of their careers. And unfortunately, their lives were cut way too short. So we don't have that opportunity to see them grow as humans and as artists because of dumb shit like this, right? Also, rapper Boozy, we've talked about him briefly, episodes past. So I'm talking about season 1, right? He actually just attended the vigil. I cannot talk today. He attended the vigil for Mo3, and right after that ended up getting shot in the foot. That's not even his city. Why you shoot people there? That King Von wasn't in his city. He was in Atlanta. I guess T.I. was right, because T.I.'s like, listen, if you got beef, keep it in your city. Don't be coming here to Atlanta and doing shit like this. I don't blame him, but we should just end the violence altogether, right? And speaking of getting shot in the foot, which, I mean, if people are going to get shot, I would prefer in the foot so we don't kill people, right? Not only did Boozy get shot in the foot, but Benny the Butcher, he is brand new. He's part of the Griselda hip hop group based out of Albany, New York. And he just got shot in the foot too. This is a PSA to anybody who is going to be reckless. And I don't know who is watching that owns a gun or wants to own a gun. Don't be stupid with it, please. If you're going to use it for protection, use it for actual protection. Don't be doing it because you're beefing with somebody and you feel like you need to just pop off. Don't be a Tory Lanez. Don't be doing that shit, all right? Keep the gun safely concealed and used when needed. Don't be living that lifestyle, because I'm going to tell you that lifestyle is going to catch up with you. Now, I don't own a gun. Probably won't ever own a gun. Not really into it. We all know that the reason why guns were created was for hunting, right? So there's nothing good that comes out of it unless you're feeding your family. Guns are made with the intention to kill. That's why I don't like guns. Stop killing shit. How obvious, right? Oh, I hate people sometimes, but just stop the violence. It's been a rough ass year. We're heading into the holiday season. We just need some goodness, but I will tell you that I want to go back to the chapter of COVID when we were all inside the house, because I feel like a lot of deaths or violent incidents were actually prevented because everybody had to stay their asses inside the house. So, there's so many restrictions going on major cities coming back up again because COVID cases are spiking. So maybe we'll get back to that. Maybe some people's lives will be spared by COVID and by gun violence. Just keep your ass at home, right? Go spend the holidays with your family. Stop having beef. All right, that's my PSA for that. But hi, guys. Welcome back to this week's episode. We talk about a little bit of gossip. We got, speaking of COVID, we got Moderna and we got Pfizer talking about that they are in preparation to release the vaccine soon. And I know I talked a few weeks back. I didn't really want to talk about COVID, but now there is breaking news on it. I don't know how at first I was feeling about the vaccine. I really was just oh, I'm not going to get that. I'm going to wait a while. I'm going to let the MAGA people, right? All the people that refuse to wear the masks and all the dumbasses that are keeping it going. Let's have them get the vaccine first and see how effective it is, and then I'll work on it. But I think at the rate that we're going, I need to change my mindset and understand that it is not going away unless people are practicing safe masks. And they are going to get the vaccine because this pandemic is not going to go away if we're still being stupid, right? I'm low-key sick of being stuck in the house as much as you can. As I know you guys love the egg chair, and I know that you loved my porch when it was warmer out, but I do want to actually like have in-person interviews, and I want to be able to explore and go travel and see things and give you guys content, but just also live my life more importantly. But that shit ain't happening anytime soon, so please, for the sake of me and everybody else in this world, whether you know them or not, stop being a dumbass. Like, I think that's just like the overarching theme of this is don't be a dumbass. Put the guns down, put your masks up. Brought to you by the Antisocial Socialite. So, no, that's it. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're having a good week. Thanksgiving, like, believe it or not, is coming up next week. I'm shocked. Like, November started 2 seconds ago, so I don't understand how we're halfway into it. It's getting darker, even earlier. This seasonal depression is kicking in. This shit's for the birds, man. But I will tell you that my interview today is actually a little ray of sunshine. She's coming all the way from Jamaica. So I had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to interview Gabby. She is phenomenal. I actually had been referred to her for somebody else that I interviewed in the past, and I didn't know her until my interview, and it was actually so great to have the opportunity to be able to get to connect with her, hear about her story, what she's doing with her brand, and just how she lives her life in beautiful, beautiful Jamaica. I will say that it was not my best interview. I was feeling under the weather. Some people saw on Instagram, but I've been having a severe allergic reaction around my eyes, and I think it was because of my makeup. It's happened twice now. If you noticed, I was looking a little when I was in Vermont. That's why. And it happened again last week, and I've been on medication, and my eyes were getting all bright red and so swollen, and I was like in urgent care 2 separate times, and I'm now on steroids. I'm still on steroids, but guess what? It's clearing up. So I graced you guys with a little bit of makeup today. But yeah, like, I don't know. My skin is way too sensitive, and it's so damn annoying, but whatever. I'm feeling better. But I was really feeling sick that day from the medicine. So it wasn't my best interview, and I felt so bad because Gabby is so sweet. So I just want to give you guys the heads up that if I'm like, bleh, had nothing to do with Gabby. She is so sweet. But let's just quit all of this. Let's just hurry up and get to my interview with her. So I'm going to hit you guys with my commercial break for this week. And then you get to enjoy my amazing, amazing interview with Gabby, who is the owner of Quaint. The whole Quaint brand. There's Quaint bags. There's the Quaint Persuit. You're going to hear about all of it in my interview. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you afterwards. This week's commercial break is a little bit different because I'm going to show you my dingy ass shoe, right? But I love these shoes, and I have quite a bit more from Sam Edelman. I get so many compliments because, like, feathers, bling, like, what more do you want? But Sam Edelman actually has amazing, amazing shoes, and if you guys know my style, I know I'm a little toned down today, but the more sparkly and feathery and avant-garde it is, the better it is in my world, right? Because life is way too short to look boring all the damn time. So I'm going to just shout out Sam Edelman. I have tons of sneakers from his collection. Love it. You can find them. DSW. Sam has his own store. Bloomingdale's. I mean, random places. But, like, let's just give a quick shout out to Sammy. Love you, man. All right, that's it. Love for you to tell us about your Quaint brand. So you and I were just talking off camera briefly about your bag brand, your swimwear, your YouTube channel. So if you would be so kind to kind of introduce us to the Quaint brand and let us know what you're about.
Okay, so I love the fact that you said Quaint brand because it's kind of like just a big umbrella under which everything falls. So 5 years ago, I started the brand Quaint by GSC, and the word quaint means unusually interesting in a nutshell, strangely attractive, something that's like it's unusual, but because it's so unusual, it's like it draws you into it, like it's attractive. There's something about it that just makes you feel like this is just different. So I named it Quaint because that's exactly what my designs are. That's what I wanted my designs to represent. I wanted my designs to be something unusual, out of the norm, that people would kind of question, why did she name it that? I wanted them to be intrigued by the name. And by GSC, or GSC basically stands for Gabrielle Shade Clark. So that's my name. And I wanted to just add a personal touch to it. So that's why I said GSC, like at the end. Under the brand Quaint by GSC, I make bags, I make clothing, and I have a YouTube channel. The bags that I make are inspired by Africa. So if you look in the background, you'll see Africa there. Like I'm a big Africa fan. Like I would say I'm pro Africa, right? I actually want to travel there one day. And most of my bags, they tend to be with African prints and with symbols that represent some part of Africa or the map of Africa. I also have swimwear. I don't have any of those with me right now, but I just I just love making bags. I first started out by making myself bags and clothes for college, and people started showing interest. They wanted to buy my stuff, and so I just turned it into a business. I was like, okay, since you guys want to buy and I would love to make some extra money as a college student, then I might as well just turn it into a business. I didn't finish that degree because this business took my heart. I was just like, I feel like this is what I want to do. I feel like this is my passion. This is what I should be doing. So I ended up doing this full time, just making bags and making clothing for people, selling that instead of getting a degree, because I had like 4 years left in the program I was studying. And I thought to myself, do I really want to spend 4 additional years doing something that I'm not passionate about? Something that I can't stay up for the whole night and not feel tired while doing? Because when I just started out, I could stay up for the whole night sewing. And I know that's not always healthy. Sleep is important and all of that. But I feel like when you just start a business, sometimes being obsessive about it is actually a good thing. So eventually I started a YouTube channel, and that YouTube channel, my intention was really to teach people how to sew. But somewhere along the lines, I also started doing like business related videos because I had been an entrepreneur for a while. November coming this month is going to be 5 years since I have been doing this business. And
Happy
so I've learned a lot.
anniversary. Sorry to interrupt, but happy anniversary. That's huge.
Yes.
We have to celebrate that for a quick moment. Woo! Yes.
Right?
Yes, you should be proud.
Yes, five is a milestone. I don't know what it is about 5 years, but it's a huge milestone, and I definitely want to do something to celebrate. Maybe this could be a good way to celebrate, being interviewed by the antisocial socialite.
You are the best. No, absolutely. So this will be your anniversary episode, because that is a huge milestone, and you have to give props to yourself, because a lot of people do start out with their passions, but like you said, studies or work or whatever gets in the way of people really fully exercising their passions. But you did not let that dictate your life. You took your passion and made it your business and made it your life goal. And that's huge to do that and totally say, I'm not going to do this degree any longer. I'm going to follow my passion. You got to give props to yourself. That's huge.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, what was your degree going to be in if you finished your studies?
It was going to be dentistry.
Okay, because I knew it had to be something really long for you to have an additional 4 years. So I was like, oh my goodness, it's definitely, I figured like medical or law, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yes. I was studying to become a dentist. And to be honest, I just wanted to do it because of the money. Like, dentists tend to make a lot of money. So I was like, well, I might as well just choose something that's going to make a lot of money. I really wanted to be a pediatrician because I love kids. So I wanted to do that, but I didn't get into the medical program. The next best thing was to get into dentistry. So I just got into dentistry and I was like, okay, I'm going to work with this, see how it goes, because I'll still make money anyway. But I wasn't passionate about it. I wasn't like, I love fixing people's teeth so much. Like, I can't wait to be in people's mouth. No, I didn't feel that way.
I don't think a lot of people are. It would be kind of weird if a lot of people are like, I'm super passionate about being in somebody's face 24/7. Yeah. No, yeah. It's for the money. I'm glad that you decided to like follow your heart and say, no, I think I'm going to do something I really care about and I'm like really interested in doing. And you clearly have a talent for it. Like your brand is phenomenal. I've seen your Instagram pages both for the swim and for the bags. And I kind of want to segue into that. So you mentioned that you have the swimwear collection, which I think is so fantastic. And I did see a lot of Jamaican and African inspired prints or designs on there. But I want to really talk about your bags because they're vegan leather, if I'm not mistaken. So I wanted to talk about, how you come up with your designs and the materials that you source, everything that you do for your bag brand.
Well, to be honest, I kind of just go with what spirit tells me. Like, let me see. This bag, for example, the symbol here is the ankh, and it represents life. It's an Egyptian hieroglyphic symbol that means life, or it represents the word life. So I honestly just like to use symbols that are related to my ancestors to somehow send a message to the people who are taking in my work, basically. People who are seeing it, so they'll get curious and they'll wonder, what is that symbol? Or they'll know what the symbol is, but then they'll kind of grow like a deeper curiosity about it and start looking more into what it's all about. And at the same time, with the African prints, I feel like it's a good way to honor Africa, because I would love to at some point give back to Africa as the home where my ancestors came from. I would love to give back to them somehow, but because I'm not rich yet, this is how I'm giving back, by just increasing awareness. So the very first time I went into the fabric store and I had to decide what kind of fabrics I'd be using for the things that I create, African prints were what called to me the first. So I started out with that. I didn't know if it was something I would continue with for the whole career, basically. But what I saw was that there was a real interest in it. And so I decided that I would stick to it and make that my niche. I would make that my thing, and my market audience would basically, or my target audience would basically gravitate towards me. So it was really spirit that called out to me with the African prints at first. I started out with denim. I didn't start out with vegan leather. I started out with denim. And I liked that because it was easy to work with and it didn't require like any extra materials or anything like that. And just starting out, I needed to keep it simple. But eventually I had to explore materials that would be a lot more structured, that would have more rigidity to them, basically, and would stand up on their own. And that happened to be the vegan leather. I started exploring with different colors because, with denim, it tends to just come in like two colors, whether it's black or blue, shades of black and blue. But with vegan leather, it gives me a lot of flexibility. I can work with a variety of colors. So as you can see, this bag is quite colorful. I make bags with other colors: red, yellow, green, blue, purple, like you name it. I can find any color of vegan leather that I need. And so that's why I chose to work with that, because I love to be able to express my creativity in that kind of way. I don't like being restricted to just one color or to two colors. So that's why I started using vegan leather. And when I pair things together, I always make sure that whatever print I use with a specific color of vegan leather, I make sure that it complements. So let's go back to this bag again.
I love this bag, so I'm gonna keep talking about it all day long. Yes.
Yeah, so if you notice, I have the orange vegan leather and black here. And if you look at the print, you'll notice that there are hints of orange and black in it as well. So I always choose my fabrics to make sure that whatever print I use complements the color that it goes with, and vice versa. And I always try to make sure that it evokes some feeling in whoever is going to be looking at it. So orange is a color that represents creativity. It represents happiness, positivity. What else does it represent? Enthusiasm, just good vibes. So when people look at my bags, I want them to feel warm inside. I want them to feel like, wow, that's interesting. Like, just like how you said, thanks for adding the pops of color to your day because it's been a rainy day. It's the same kind of vibe I want people to get when they see my bags.
Color is a great representation of, having an extension of your personality come off of you. And that I always talk about, today I'm kind of just like blah, but like my wardrobe, what I want to wear really is an extension, and it's like expressing art in a different way, but it's more of an extension of my personality. And I feel like your collections do that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. The things that I create are a reflection of who I am. So I've always been a very colorful person. I just think, I don't know if you believe in astrology or anything, but I don't even want to say that it has anything to do with astrology. It's just how I am. I'm just a colorful person overall.
What's your
embrace
sign?
color. I am a Libra.
Okay, so wait, is your birthday just passed?
Yeah, October 3rd to be exact.
Well, happy belated to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
When is your
November 29th, so I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, so your birthday is coming up.
It is. So yeah, I know I'm gonna be really old, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just glad to see another year.
Wait, you're young at heart.
Thank you. Yes. I feel like that most days, but I'm like, today I'm a little sluggish, so I really am feeling my age today. But most days I do feel pretty young.
It could actually be with the weather, like for me specifically, when the weather is gloomy or when it's rainy, I tend to be a lot more sluggish than on days when the sky is clear and it's beautiful outside. So it could just be the weather.
Probably. Hopefully, right? I'm like just thinking in my head as we're talking about this. Tell me about your YouTube channel though. So you started off as sewing and then you turned it into a business. So like what do you do on your YouTube channel?
On my YouTube channel, actually, I didn't exactly start off sewing. That was my intention, but it didn't get there because I didn't figure out how to really teach people how to sew until recently.
Oh, okay.
So what I started out with were like self-help videos, like things about self-love and how to raise your vibration and how to like impact change in your life, how to live a positive life, that kind of thing. And then eventually I pivoted and I started talking about business stuff. So I started teaching people how to start a business, how to start an e-commerce business, how to do all the finances for it, how to ship your products, how to package your products, all of those stuff, until recently I pivoted again to start teaching strictly about sewing because I finally figured out how to really teach it on camera. And also I noticed that out of all the videos I was doing on my YouTube channel, those videos were performing the best. And if you want to grow on YouTube, you have to niche down to talking about a specific thing. Like if you want to get subscribers and if you want people to watch religiously, you have to niche down. So that's what caused me to just narrow down to that because those were the best performing videos on my channel. So for now, I'm just teaching people, like, for example, what sewing machine to get, how to thread their sewing machine, how to stitch different types of clothing items, how to make patterns for those clothing items. Yeah, that's the path I'm on right now.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're dropping gems, and every time you reroute yourself, it's like you talk about business, you talk about inspiration or affirmations, anything like that, and now you're going to sewing. Like, it doesn't matter if you're like just beginning to watch or if you've been subscribing and watching for years, you're dropping really knowledgeable information along the way, just in different facets. So
Right,
hopefully,
totally. So it's like an evolution.
yeah, and hopefully these like novice sewers or amateur sewers that are coming in, we're like, oh, I want to start my own business, and then they can like keep seeing how you're doing things and gain inspiration off of that. So
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
love.
for sure.
Now, do you create all of your designs? So obviously like the design element, but do you physically sew all the bags and all of the clothing, or do you have a team behind you?
Actually, I do sew all the bags myself at this time. I'm working on a team because I would like to expand and create more. And I just feel like after 5 years, 5 years is a good time to actually start bringing in other people, because I've attempted to create a team before, but because I'm so meticulous about my work, it's like I'd find a team member, but they just don't live up to the standards that I have for my products. Because if you are helping me to sew, I'm gonna be the one who will have to take the blow if you mess up something, or if you don't stitch something right, or if you don't cut something out right. So I have just been working on the craft myself for now, and sort of developing the skills that I feel like I need to lead other people, and also structuring the business in a way where when I do bring someone on, it should be an easy transition from just me to having someone else on the team. So I've just been patient and waiting on that right time. There's never really a right time for anything,
Never.
but I do feel like it's important to not rush certain things, because when I bring someone else on the team, I have to think about paying them, and paying someone is totally different from just doing it yourself. Now you have more responsibilities. So I'm just giving myself time to feel like I'm ready to take on that kind of responsibility.
Absolutely. And if you can handle it right now in terms of the design, the production, the shipping, all of that, of course, it's a huge undertaking. But if you're able to master that, and then once you really expand beyond that, then you could say, okay, now I'm ready for somebody to come in and do that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, this is my sewing machine right here.
This is your best friend that you're introducing us to.
Yes. Yeah. This is
Hey,
my
best friend.
We've been rocking for like a while.
I love it. I love that we're actually sitting at your sewing table for this interview right now. This is making me so happy.
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, you're never too far away from your work. So as soon as we hang up, you can just start sewing right now, create something new.
Exactly.
Yes. So in terms of shipping, because I was just talking about that really quickly, do you ship to the US? Are you international, like all over the world? Because we need the people in the US to start wearing your product. So I want to make sure that they have access to it.
Well, I actually ship all over the world.
Yay.
So
Okay.
the places I'm most proud of shipping to are, like, for example, France, Poland. Where else have I shipped to? Japan. Like, those are big deals for me, because I feel like if people in those countries are buying my stuff, then there's something about it that makes them feel like it's worth waiting until it gets there. It's worth paying for shipping and waiting until it gets there. I ship to the States as well. I have shipped to a number of states before. I've shipped to California, I've actually shipped to Massachusetts before. I've shipped to New York, to New Jersey. I have shipped to where else? I can't remember all the states right now. Florida, yeah. I've shipped all over the states.
Did you want to introduce anything else to your collection? Are you happy where you're at now? Like, are you thinking that you just want to like focus on what you are making with new designs, new materials, or do you really want to expand the collection in terms of silhouette?
Well, to be honest, I do have visions of adding like home decor and
Oh,
perhaps like activewear to my collection, but I am just going with the flow to see how it all manifests and see how it comes in with everything. Because what I find is very important is to master where you're at. Then once you've mastered that, then you can move to the next place and master that, then move to the next place. So I'm just working right now on mastering what I'm already doing. And then once I've mastered that, I'll perhaps start to take in like home decor, that kind of thing. And yeah, just see how it progresses. Because at the same time, given that I'm doing it by myself, I already sometimes feel like I don't have enough time. So I don't think it would be feasible for me to start up a new segment or add anything new to the collection just yet until I, for example, have a team member or like a partnership, like, or an investor or something like that.
all right. No, good to know because I'm always so curious. Like you talked about the evolution of your YouTube, you also have evolution of a brand in itself. So one day you'll be able to include the home decor and do the active wear and who knows, shoes. Like you could get in because now you have to have a matching pair of shoes to go with the bags. Like you don't know, sky's the limit for this stuff.
You know what's interesting? Someone actually sent me a DM last night asking if I would ever consider doing shoe designs. So it's interesting that you're even saying this right now. I wonder if the universe is trying to give me a message.
I think so. Yes, I totally think so. I totally think so. Now, okay, here's a random question for you. If you had the opportunity to like style, a famous celebrity or, somebody that really influences you, like who would you choose?
Hmm. Let me think about this. Erica Badu.
Ooh, good choice. Good choice. I can see that. Yep.
If it's not her, then Lauren Hill.
I can
Those
also
two
see that
women,
too. Yeah.
yeah, they fit the aesthetic of my brand. And also I love their music. There's some revolutionary women, I would say, and they inspire me not only musically, but just in life.
They're both very,
Yeah.
very positive, relatable women.
Yes.
It's just like you don't aspire like, oh, I want to dress like them or I want to act like that. No, it's just like their whole being, their whole presence is just so magical that I would definitely say that those two women would represent the Quaint brand very well if we were to get them
Hey,
styled by you, which I hope that
this
happens.
is such a thing. Like, wow. I hope that one day that manifests. I feel like it's a possibility. I don't ever think that anything is impossible. I wouldn't be surprised if 5 years from now or even less, Erica Badu will be wearing one of my bags or something. I would not be
Gabby,
surprised.
it has been so fun to sit down and chat with you, and I hope that we can do this again. But in the meantime, do you mind dropping all your social handles so everybody has a chance to go out and check out your brand and shop you and love you and inspire you every day?
For sure. So, my personal Instagram page, where you can find basically inspiration and just good vibes overall, is Quaint Boss. So that's QuaintBawse. And then my business pages are Quaint Bags and Quaint Swim. So that's QUAINT.swim and QUAINT bags, BAGS.
Awesome.
Yeah. And social media, it's the Quaint Persuit. Yeah. So there you can find sewing videos, business related videos, self-help videos, and all the works.
I'm so excited to see what comes of it because we're celebrating 5 years of your brand right now on this special anniversary edition, right? But I'm so
Yeah.
excited to now know you. Thankfully, we were connected by a mutual friend, and I'm so excited to see what the future has to offer you because I really believe in your product. I think it is phenomenal. I just can't wait to see what you have up your sleeve next.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the energy. I
Yes,
appreciate the love. I appreciate the praises. I appreciate it all.
yeah, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. So just know it is coming from a true, genuine place because I'm really intrigued by your collection. And, I'm going to have to start Christmas shopping. So maybe I'll have to take a look at your site after this. And for all my friends and family, if you get Quaint bags, don't be surprised, right?
Yes. And also the website is www.thequaintpursuit.com.
All right, so you guys have to agree with me. Gabby's amazing, right? Like, I absolutely love her, and I'm happy to call her a friend now, and hopefully one day I'll be able to go to Jamaica and meet her in person. And I think that's actually the beautiful thing of starting my channel during all of COVID. I'm getting to meet people from all over the world that I never would have had the opportunity otherwise. So I'm super excited that I get to meet everybody. Had an opportunity recently to meet up with some people from the Legendary Media Group. We had brunch and we did a photo shoot, and it was so amazing, and I had such a good time. And, I was actually really honored because I've had the opportunity to get to interview all of them. But now it was fun to meet them in person. So my goal is, if I haven't met you yet, all the people I've interviewed thus far, my plan is to get to meet all of you in person one day and have follow-up interviews and get to know everything about you, bring more content coming through, get to meet all these people. So if you guys have any opportunities that you want me to interview somebody that you're inspired by or you think is on the move and I need to know, drop it in the comments, DM me, let me know, because I love meeting new people and hearing their stories. So I'd love to be able to connect with people that connect with you. So all of that said and done, I will see you guys next week. It will be a Thanksgiving episode, 25th episode, if you can believe it. So crazy. And it's the week of my birthday. So obviously it's going to be dedicated to me once again. So yeah, also DM me anything that you guys have to share that you want me to put on my 25th episode. Just let me know, because I love to hear from you guys. I love to connect and engage with everybody, because although my following is small, you guys are quite loyal. So I appreciate y'all. But until next week, out.